On this episode of The Woman I Am Today, we have two-time author Kim Lingling. She will be sharing her new book, When Grace Found Me, Real-Life Stories of Women of Faith. Enjoy this episode of The Woman I Am Today. She is a veteran and she's a two-time author, and so we're going to jump right in and welcome her to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
Awesome. So, Kim, can you tell us a little bit about the woman you are today?
Woman? Oh my gosh. How long do you have? My name is Kim. Of course, I'm an author, and I'm also a freelance writer, and I am currently working on a 3-book faith series, actually, called When Grace Found Me, with the first volume due to come out in a couple weeks, actually, right before Christmas. So we're really excited about that. Yes, extremely excited. It's a collaborative book project of women literally from around the world that are sharing their stories of going through fears or struggles of some sort and coming out the other end stronger and better for it. So very excited about that first volume to come out. I'm a mom. I have a 30-year-old daughter who is out on her own with her 2 dogs. And I'm a dog mom, so I've got my own rescue dog named Dexter. And he's full of it and keeps me on my toes every day and makes me smile.
Awesome. So tell me, what made you want to be an author?
16 years ago is when I started writing, and I never thought of myself as a writer, but I had given a speech in front of a group of 800 people, and that was literally the first time I ever spoke in public. So I was thrown right into the deep end. 800 people to me is a lot of people.
It is.
It was for a veteran event. And I was sharing a story about my great-grandfather, who was the last surviving World War I veteran in this area. And I was sharing the story of his journey in World War I, and that his son had shared with me, my dad. So I shared that story, and so many people afterwards came up and said, "You have got such a gift for sharing a story. You had everybody crying, and for a group that large, it was silent." And I was so nervous, I didn't realize or even pay attention to it until afterwards. I was just bombarded with, oh my goodness, that was great. And then the local newspaper came up to me and said, "Have you ever considered writing, for the newspaper?" And I said, "No, I'm not a writer." And they said, "You definitely are. If you wrote that speech, you definitely are. How about doing a monthly column for us on veteran issues?" So I started that, and I've been doing it ever since, once a month for 16 years. And it's all voluntary, but that's what actually nudged me into writing. And I got a following through that. I would get emails and stuff and run into people and say, "Hey, aren't you the lady that talks about vets in the paper?" And so I started sharing my own stories, and then I started interviewing other veterans and sharing their stories. And then it just kind of rolled from there. And as the years went by, I fell more into who I was and the type of writing that I wanted to do as I learned and grew. And so now, 16 years later, I sit there and say, yes, I am a writer.
And a speaker.
And a speaker, yes. So that's how it started, actually. It was just a random seemingly random. I think God had something to do with that.
Yeah.
He set me on that path, and he's been guiding me ever since. So now I share a lot of faith stories as well on my blog, and I have my own book just outside of the collaborative book project. I have my own that's going to come out next year too. I'm hoping around March, called Imperfect Masterpiece, and that is my own book solely. So that shares a whole lot of my journey and my stories, and they're all faith-based.
Awesome, Kimberly. That is wonderful. Can you tell our viewers, like, where can they find these books?
They can go to my website, which is kimlanglingauthor.com. I'm also on Facebook under She Writes Words, or you can find me on LinkedIn, which is just Kim Langling.
Okay, awesome. Could you tell us about one of the stories of, like, someone that sent you a email or a phone call about how your work that you're doing is impacting the community?
I'm going to share a little something from one of the co-authors that's in the volume 1 of When Grace Found Me. Prior to, I had asked her to participate, not knowing if she was a Christian or not, or what her faith may be. I just, said, hey, for whatever reason, I was nudged strongly to ask this particular woman. Mm-hmm. And she had replied back to me, I'd love to participate, but I'm not necessarily a believer. And I said, that's fine. I think I'm supposed to have you in this book anyway. I think you're supposed to participate. So she said, and I had asked everybody to share their favorite Bible verse. And she said, I don't have a favorite Bible verse because I don't read the Bible. And I said, that's fine. Give me a quote. Share a favorite quote. I just felt very strongly she was meant to participate. And as we're going through the process of writing and the stories going back and forth and getting edited, her mom passes away from COVID. So that was obviously very, very difficult time for her. And I have a private face group set up for the co-authors. Mm-hmm. And they're all Christian women. And when I shared that with the private group, that her mom had passed away, all of us just bombarded her with prayer. She was overwhelmed because I get teary-eyed about this. She'd never had, that she knew of, people praying for her. She didn't know how to accept it. And that made me pray even harder, to be quite honest with you. I'm going, okay, God, you're on the move. Let us keep doing this. And pardon me, I'm actually starting to cry. So I felt God moving, through the whole group. And these are women from all around the world. And she private messaged me, and she said, you have no idea the impact that you're having on my life right now. And that I can literally feel your prayers. And this was just in a few short weeks from a woman who said, I don't go to church. I don't think I believe, and I don't read the Bible. And a few short weeks later, less than 2 months later, obviously she had a traumatic thing happen in her life. But isn't that typically how God works?
Yeah, he was able to use that.
Yes. And it's just so, to me, if no one buys the book, literally, if not one single copy of that book sells,
yeah,
and it was her that was supposed to be touched through the process, nothing but jumping up and down, hands in the air.
Yeah.
That's a huge praise. And I don't think she realizes how much her journey, that we were there for her, how much it's impacted each of us as well. Because, we're tossing those mustard seeds. And for whatever reason, God encouraged me, invite this woman, invite her specifically. And, I'm so thankful that I actually listen to God now. Because
you learn how to be obedient.
Yeah. I did not always, I did not always. I'm a late bloomer. That's what I tell my pastor. I'm a late bloomer because I wasn't baptized or even really think that I didn't take him into my heart until my mid-30s. I was very bitter and angry and didn't care for God. But then I realized, how can I dislike something I don't believe in? So there was that in the back of my head.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm a late bloomer, and it took me a while to start listening and to recognize it. To recognize his voice. Even, it's not audible, but you feel those nudges. Sometimes you get that like little tingle. To me, it feels like a whisper coming from behind. That's how I always try to describe it. Because for me personally, that's how it comes, as if it's a whisper from behind. Because often I'll be going, okay, was that you?
Wow.
So yeah, that's one of the things that's just been most recent and super powerful. And like I said, I don't care if one copy of that book sells. That woman now knows that God does exist. He is real, and the power of prayer is amazing.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. I changed my mindset and got in position to align myself with like-minded individuals who helped me shift my thinking positively. I admit, I didn't have my own mindset prior. I wasn't listening to the right people previously. I had not found my own voice yet, neither did I know who I was. God took my mess and turned it into a powerful message. My test became my testimony. I began doing the work so that I can manifest the highest version of the woman God created me to be. Our Stories, His Glory, Volume 2 is a continuation in the powerful inspirational series written to share testimonies of how 8 people broke out of bondage to become physically, mentally, and spiritually free. To order your copy, go to my website, KimberlyLeaGuest.com, where you can also purchase a copy of the bestseller, Healing Toxic Habits, and your Speak Life Tea Talks. was just thinking about like all the, little challenges we had this morning and trying to get everything set up, and just how intentional God is, and he allows us to just rest in his peace and know that all things are working out. And I'll share a story about a young lady that I worked with through the Job Start program. And for those that don't know, I have a nonprofit organization, New Vision Foundation for Life, where I work with women in transition. And this one young lady, she said she does not do hugs. And I'm a hugger. And I know a lot of the women that I work with through this particular program, they've been incarcerated for years, and they haven't had that, I don't know. It's not any really thing special about the love that I give, but it's from God. And I know that it's genuine, and I know that people can actually feel it. By the end of this 16 weeks, this lady literally hugged me so tight and picked me up off the floor. And I knew it was God that allowed the love to penetrate her heart. And I don't know if she hadn't experienced love in a while, or if she's just been angry or bitter about life and the challenges that come with it. But she gave me the best hug in the world. And it was at a time where I was going through my own thing, because although I said yes to this thing that God had called me to do, I still didn't understand it or know what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I just went in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to cook them a really good meal, and I'm going to love on them. And, that's what I did. And it has made such an impact on me. It's made an impact on the ladies, but it's made such a great impact on me. It's shown me the strength of God's love. And if we allow ourselves just to love each other for who we are, where we are, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see, what advice would you give to an up and coming author?
Don't let fear hold you back. Don't look at yourself as, I'm not a writer. When I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. I wrote from the heart, and that comes through no matter how well you write it. And you can hone your skill as you go. Mm-hmm. But as long as you write from the heart, the right words are going to come. Use all of your five senses, your sight, your hearing, your smell, your touch, your taste. Put all of that into your writing, and then put your heart in there. And I always, I'm probably not 100% of the time, but most of the time, my things come to me, my stories or my ideas for stories come to me when I'm praying or I'm walking my dog every day. And that's when I talk to God, when I'm outside walking in the woods or in the fields. And I literally just have a conversation with him like he's right there beside me. And a lot of times that calms me. So when something pops in my head, I can sit right down and I just blurt it out. I call it spewing. I just spew the words out on my computer, and then I walk away. Mm-hmm. Walk away for a day or two. I let it simmer.
Yeah.
And then I come back and reread it and go, oh, okay. Now I see where I was going with that. That's how it works for me. So it's not going to work like that for everybody else. But that's how it works for me. I let things simmer. I'll spew it all out, let it simmer, but don't think of yourself as not a writer. Maybe you'll never be this phenomenal writer. Journal, start journaling.
Yes.
Get your words out there and ask God for guidance on it. I mean, he's there for you all the time.
Yes, he is.
And a lot of times we forget that. Mm-hmm. But that's, I don't know if that's advice or not, because that's just kind of what I do. But I let it come as naturally as it can. I never try and force it. When I try and force it, it's when I get frustrated, and then the D-man comes and sits on my shoulder. And the D-man's who I call Satan. So the D-man comes and he perches there, and I'm like, nope, not today.
Exactly.
You know? So don't try and force it. Just let it come natural. Even if it doesn't make sense, type it out.
Yeah.
I guess that's my advice.
Great advice. Listen, guys, do not allow fear to stop you from showing up for the woman that God created you to be. I have this journal right here. It is the woman I am today. It is my own journal, and I stepped out on faith, and I showed up. You can see I've been writing in it, and I have this quote over here from my book, and it says, I am the woman God created me to be. I'm doing everything God created me to do. Everything in my life is going according to his plan, working in my favor because I believe. One thing about it, I believe God and I trust God. I have never been on a major platform like this, and being able to provide other women with this opportunity to share their voice, to share their message that God has placed on the inside of them with millions of viewers. It is such a blessing. And I'm glad that I said yes to it, because I know that it's not only going to change my life, it's going to impact your life and the people, the women that are in your life and that are joining on to do this book series with you. And so don't allow fear to stop you from showing up. You get up and you get your curls and you adjust your wig. I wear wigs, y'all. And just, put on some lip gloss and show up. Make some type of effort. Even if it's only doing one thing a day, sending one email, making one phone call, do something that is going to help you become the woman that God has created you to be. Because a lot of times with me showing up for the woman I am today is me showing up for the woman God created me to be. Although we know it's a process and it takes time, but if you do one thing every day, you'll see yourself closer to your vision. This journal, it was a part of a book. It's actually the title of my book, From Healing Toxic Habits, a best-selling book in 2017. So I'm a best-selling author, and I took the title of my chapter in that book and I created this show. And now other women get to share their books, their businesses, and all of the great things that they have going on because I just said yes. I said, let me show up for myself. That's going to put me in a better position to be able to make an impact on my community, to be able to show them that I can do it. That means you can do it too, right?
Preach it.
I am super excited. I'm like, and listen, you guys, I'm going to be in her next book.
Hey,
surprise!
I know. I welcome you. Yes. I welcome anybody who wants to participate. Seriously, contact me.
Yep. So if you're looking to become an author, this will either, we're going to see how the timeline goes, but this is either going to be my third or fourth, because I just finished and sent my second chapter into the publishers. So I'll be a 2-time best-selling author. So we're right here neck and neck, and I'm excited about it. I have I'm sure at least 4 or 5 more books in me.
Oh,
because you have so many stories.
Now this is a good platform to be in a collaborative book project. This is the perfect opportunity. It's 1,500 words. It's not an entire book. And yet at the end of the day, you are a published author. And if that book goes to bestseller, you are a best-selling published author.
Yes.
So keep that in the back of your minds, ladies. Seriously, that's how I started with the books. I was asked to be in a collaborative book project and share my very personal story. And, at the end of the day, you have a book in your hand and it has your name on it. You're like, yes. I'm an author.
Yes. And I mean, that's how I got started too. I was asked to be a part of a collaboration, and then I did a second collaboration, and I'm going to probably do either my third or fourth one with you. And I'm going to keep writing because it's healing.
It is.
It is so healing.
Yes, it is.
On the next episode,
many years. You know, and to feel him working. There are times that you get goosebumps and you're going, oh, here we go. Strap myself in. What's he going to have me do today? You know? But to feel that and recognize it for what it is, sometimes it just brings me to tears. And I'm like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for not giving up on me. For not giving up on me. Thank you, God. So sometimes it makes me cry in thankfulness. There you go. You know,
I have 3 more meetings after.
This is going to be a great show.
Nick Bolton here to tell you about the newest tack-light innovation, the Bell & Howell Tack Pen. We made a tack light the size of a pen, visible up to 2 nautical miles away, has a disorienting defensive strobe, zooms in to focus its beam wherever you want, and won't quit even in the most bitter cold or extreme heat. And yes, it survived getting run over by my Humvee. Clips to your pockets so you can take it anywhere, can help you make quick repairs or break a window in an emergency. It even functions like a regular pen. There's just nothing like it on the market today.
Act now to get your Bell & Howell Tack Pen for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. Like all of our tactical products, it features genuine Bell & Howell craftsmanship, backed by our 10-year warranty. While supplies last, you can get a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Get yours today.
To order, call 1-800-473-1987 or go to buytackpen.com. That's 1-800-473-1987, or you can order online at buytackpen.com.
Hello, my name is John Guess, founder and CEO of JHG Photography and Films and co-founder of Vizion Television. Over the past few years, we have generated over 80,000 post views and over 30,000 video views on Facebook alone. Our clients' good works are getting noticed. We created this platform for small businesses, entrepreneurs, artists, and other organizations who would normally not have a platform. If you are a small business, artist, ministry, or organization that needs commercial work or an event covered, or would like to create a platform and cannot afford thousands of dollars for advertising, contact us today via email or 984-389-3283. New Vision Television, where your dreams are our priority.